Here he is. We say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to Jeff Marek, the host of The Sheet here daily on the Nation Network. The poor fellow was supposed to be in Minnesota, but planes ain't getting in and out of Toronto and Minnesota this week. How you doing, partner?
I've had better. Listen, no one wants to hear media complain about travel stories. Nobody wants to hear that. It's I know, like I understand it. It's been a tough couple of days, but as I like to say, I follow one motto when it comes to air travel, and it goes like this, and it always helps me calm down in these moments. And I've repeated this mantra to myself a lot over the last 48 hours. I would rather be down here wishing I was up there than up there wishing I was down here. That has gotten me through.
That is brilliant.
So I heard it years and years ago. That has got me through so many.
I was going to say
meltdowns at the end.
Is that original material, Jeff?
Listening. No. You know where I got that one? I got that one from Dennis Bayak.
Very good.
Who was doing a Leafs New Jersey game, and his flight was delayed, so it wasn't. And it was a New Year's Eve game. And so he wasn't going to make it home to see his wife, Bev. And I said, it's a drag. You're stuck in New Jersey. You can't get out. And you can't spend New Year's with your wife. And he said, Jeff, I'd rather be down here wishing I was up there than up there wishing I was down here. And it's always stuck with me. So he was the aviation Zen master.
I spent a year traveling with Dennis Bayak, and king of the deadpan one-liners, Dennis. Dry.
You know what?
Oh my goodness, he was.
Can I give you a great one? Maybe you heard this one, but I totally bet on it. We were at a Maple Leafs. I think it was Leafs and Atlanta Thrashers. I don't know why I remember that game. And I said, Dennis, where are you from in Manitoba? And he said, I am from Winnipegosis, Manitoba. And I said, wow, I don't know much about Winnipegosis, Manitoba. What can you tell me? And he says, it is the birthplace of the toothbrush. And I said, what? Winnipegosis? Birthplace of the toothbrush? And he said, yes, because if it were anywhere else, they'd call it the teeth brush. Dennis was
Attaboy,
the
Dennis.
best.
Okay, since you aren't at the juniors, we'll start with the Canucks and we'll move to the juniors. I had visions of you with, young hockey players, 18 to 20-year-old hockey players skating in the background for this.
Watched them on TV.
So did we.
Braeden Cootes.
So did we. We're going to talk about Braeden Cootes. But since we last talked to you, the Vancouver Canucks have said they are going to retool a little bit in a hybrid form, or a hybrid retool, hybrid rebuilt. If you can explain to me what that means, or your reaction to, of course, they had won 4 in a row after the Hughes trade, Jeff. So maybe that got them feeling frisky. What do you make of hybrid retool or rebuild?
Why is everybody so scared just to say rebuild? Now, I say that knowing that I don't think that managers are scared of it. I think that owners don't want to hear their managers say it. Because in an owner's mind, when you start to say we're rebuilding, that means don't bother coming. That means don't bother buying tickets. So in an owner's mind, that word is terrifying. But can we just come up with some new phrase? Because it is painful, and it was painful last week watching Patrick Allvin twist himself into pretzels to try to describe what it is exactly the Vancouver Canucks are going through. Like, I've always been of the mind that every team is a rebuilding team, right? Every team makes changes all throughout the season and in the off season. Glenn Saylor would famously talk about, the Edmonton Oilers when they were winning Stanley Cups in the 80s, still needing to change the team by 15% to keep it fresh, to keep guys motivated, to keep guys hungry. Teams are always in a process of rebuilding, right? But I think we just need like a term that everyone's okay with, that no one will freak out about. Why don't we just call it renovation? We're going through some renovations. You know what? Maybe we're adding a new ensuite. Maybe we're doing something with the garage, or maybe it's something more significant. But we're just going through a renovation here. Would that be a word that would calm everybody down?
I think so.
Or would we just mock the manager who used it? I had a feeling that at some point it was gonna come up on this show, and I better have a snappy term for it, because listening to Allvin last week was was tough. So that's what I've come up with. Now we're going through a renovation. What do you think?
I'm not entirely sure the fan base trusts the contractor or the builder in this renovation here in Vancouver. I'll tell you that much.
It's a sketchy firm.
Yeah.
Look, their reviews on Yelp aren't all that good,
no,
Jeff.
They're not. But Jeff, I kind of wanted to shift a little bit towards just the Canucks unrestricted free agents, and obviously, you know, the big one is Kiefer Sherwood, 16 goals on the year. Everyone knows what he is as a player. My question to you is, general managers now know what the player is going to be. Kiefer Sherwood is probably viewed as a third-line guy that has the opportunity to play up, but on a Colorado Avalanche, on a Dallas Stars team, that third or fourth line role. So how hesitant do you think some teams are willing to give up that coveted first-round pick that the Canucks so desperately seem to want for him?
If that team, the acquiring team, can win the Stanley Cup, they won't be shy about it at all. I mean, how many times have we talked about, you know, top 6 washes as you get deeper and deeper into the playoffs, and it's your third line that wins you the Stanley Cup, right? How much did we talk about, you know, Lundell and Marchand and Lesterainen last year? How much did we talk about Barclay Goodrow's line not too long ago at Tampa? I'm even going back to 2007, the Sammy Paulson line with Rob Niedermeyer and Travis Mullen. Like the history is there. Of, you know, the Stars are the Stars, and that's great, but when it gets the Bonino line with the Pittsburgh Penguins, when it gets time to winning Stanley Cups, how often do we come right back and talk about how it was the third line that won them the Stanley Cup, right? The Stars are the Stars, but man, when it got tough, if you have a third line that is better than the other team's third line, you're deeper than the other team, and it's getting tougher. That's where you're winning cups. So I think more so than ever now, and it's further pronounced, as I mentioned, with the Florida Panthers the last couple of seasons. Right now, I don't think it's a pejorative to say, oh, he's only a third liner. Oh, he's a third line guy. That's where you win cups, man. That's where you win Stanley Cups. So if I'm a manager, and I think I can win the Stanley Cup. If I'm Colorado, and I'm looking at Kiefer Sherwood, and I'm looking at acquiring cost of maybe a first-round pick, I say to myself, can it get me the Stanley Cup? Because that first-round pick ain't getting me the Stanley Cup this year.
Nope. And, of course, the Vancouver Canucks and the Hughes deal made a trade for 4 pieces, 3 of them one-time first-round picks, and then, of course, this upcoming first-round pick. And that has brought us to Dallas, the Dallas Stars, and the name Maverick Bourque, Jeff. And somebody told me last year that Jim Nill really wanted to give Maverick Bourque some run to see, do we have a player here or not for the postseason? Pete DeBoer wasn't quite as fussy about playing him. He's playing this year, although half his time on the wing. You tell me, is he a first-round equivalent, or is he faded a little too much from his first-round status? Almost 24 years old now.
You know, he switched agents last summer. He's now with Wasserman, and normally when you do that, that means you expect something big to happen. And he's at the end of his contract, and I think he looked at, you know, where he would be slotting this year with the Dallas Stars and what kind of season he would have. Make no mistake about it, Maverick Bourque's an excellent hockey player. And if I'm going through a rebuild in a hybrid mode, no, hang on, I got to write this down. I got to put a Post-it note up on my laptop here to get this correct. I'm looking for young players right now because I don't want this to be too lengthy a process. I would look at Maverick Bourque over taking a first-round pick from the Dallas Stars all day long. The one guy that the Dallas Stars really didn't want to let go of was Logan Stankoven. That was the one that they really, really fought over, like almost to the point where it was almost personal. That was the one there where Jim Nill had to finally relent. It's like, look, we can get Mikko Rantanen. But, you know, they're running out of pieces to trade here. And this is another go-for-it year, make no mistake about it, for the Dallas Stars. And unless you want to do something like enormous with someone like Jason Robertson, then Maverick Bourque is probably the piece that you're looking at here. And if I was the Vancouver Canucks, I'd be looking at that piece if I'm doing anything with the Dallas Stars. But I don't know that Vancouver and Dallas are going to be making many significant.
Well, there's that. They have made deals. Jason Dickinson, primary amongst them. They have made deals. Derek Roy once upon a time, but yes, their owners aren't the best bedfellows. San Jose has also come up now as a potential Sherwood destination. How does that strike you?
That's a little surprising. Right now, San Jose seems to be playing, at least in my mind, playing with some house money. I think we're all looking at San Jose and going like, wow, that's kind of cool. They're, you know, fighting off. It's them and the Utah Mammoth for that final wild card spot. That was a big win, by the way, for them last night. Celebrini was awesome again. So was Askarov. That's a big win against the Ducks. I look at San Jose and I say to myself, normally managers will say, we need to reward you for an excellent season. You know, this team is owed a trade come trade deadline. Remember how upset Dylan Larkin was that Steve Yzerman didn't help the Detroit Red Wings last year? Like, hey man, we got around there. Like, you didn't help us out. You didn't push it over the finish line. But if I'm the San Jose Sharks, if I'm Mike Greer, I'm saying to myself, do not try to hot shot this. Don't this is still San Jose. The calendar hasn't flipped yet. You know, they're fighting for a playoff spot right now, and that's great, but the season hasn't got tiresome yet. Wait till some of the dog days kick in. For a very young San Jose Sharks team that doesn't know what it feels like to be competitive for 82 games. Like, go up and down that roster. How many of those players can you look at and say, yeah, this guy knows what the tough 82 games is like, know what a real chase and what a real race is to the playoffs. So if I'm Mike Greer, I'm just like, this is still just part of a process. This is found money right now. I'm really happy for these guys. I'm really happy for the team. Macklin Celebrini has quickly distinguished himself as one of the best players in the league, but let's not lose sight of the big picture here. Don't try to hotshot this thing. But, man, Kiefer Sherwood helps any team. I just don't know that he would be maximized if he was on the San Jose Sharks, as opposed to, I don't know, like a team like I mentioned throughout Colorado or Dallas or New Jersey or Carolina or someone like that.
When you look at goaltending in the NHL, it's always interesting and it's always a hot button topic, especially in Carolina right now. But you've got two goalies here. Excuse me. You got two goalies here. One in Thatcher Demko. Yep. Obviously, contract doesn't kick in until next year. And Kevin Lankinen, who is the best shootout goalie ever. He is the best shootout. I know you don't win shootouts in the postseason, but he's the only reason the team got to that point last season. What do you make of the goaltending situation here in Vancouver, and how much interest might there be out there?
Wait and drive up the price. The first thing that Thatcher Demko's got to demonstrate to everybody, though, at the same time, is health, right? Show that you can stay in games. Show that you can put long stretches together here. But this is, one of the hottest commodities you can have. And I always, I always look at teams that make the classic mistake of, instead of leaning into a strength IRF, they run away for it and try to use it to fill other holes, right? And then you just kind of turn into every other team. Like, I think one of the issues with the Eastern Conference right now, the way it's packed, is because like every team is essentially the same. Like, there are sort of minor degrees of difference between all of them, but this idea that, hey, we've got two great goaltenders, we got to let go of one of them to fill a hole somewhere else, as opposed to leaning into the fact that we got two great goaltenders here. Make it really, really worth your while, because that is one area that teams have chased for years and years and years. Some have found it, some have backed into it, some continue to struggle. I mean, the Philadelphia Flyers story with goaltenders is sort of laughable at this point. That's the one spot they've always sort of fallen down around. But if I'm Vancouver, I'm not actively doing anything. People want to come to me and talk about one of our goaltenders. I'm happy to have that conversation, but you got to really make it worth your while for Rutherford and Alvin to pick up the phone.
Yeah. Well, do you think Carolina's got to do something now with Kochetkov out for the year?
No, and listen, back the bus up, right? I mean, I know you don't want to sort of throw everything, all your hopes at someone who was, an AHL standout. But then again, so was Kochetkov with Chicago for a while too before he actualized in Carolina. And I know that the hospital bracelet has not always been the friend of Freddie Anderson. And he's worn that one like an albatross for a lot of his career. But right now, if I'm the Carolina Hurricanes, I don't know that I go out there and spend any bullets looking for a goalie ASAP. Now, that'll probably change with one phone call this afternoon, and everyone will go, Marek, what the hell are you talking about? But right now, I mean, I think by now we have a sense of what Eric Tulsky's all about. One, he's not shy about making a big move. And two, he's not going to be rushed into any decisions. Okay, you're down Kochetkov. He's gone for the season. Okay, let's see how we do before we rush into a decision. Because if Bussy's the ultimate answer, let's not spend any assets. Let's spend them somewhere else.
Yeah, and it looks like a smart waiver claim from them on Bussy.
Oh, yeah.
Let's move on. We saw Igor Chinakhov traded from Columbus.
Yep.
To Pittsburgh for second and third round picks. had to take on some bad money there. Mason Marchment got 2nd and 4th round picks. Phil Deneau got a 2nd round pick, which, at his height would have been a steal, but with no goals and on $5.5 million for next year is a bit of a risk for the Montreal Canadiens. Boy, sure looks like a seller's market, Jeff.
It really is a seller's market, and specifically in the East, where only in the NHL would an entire conference be 500. But here we are in late December. Everybody in the Eastern Conference is over 500, and it's complicating things right now. Like I always respected what Doug Armstrong used to do, and what his motto was. If we're not going to win the Stanley Cup, we're open for business, and we'll let guys go. This is kind of the way the Hunters run their junior show in London as well. It's either we can win the OHL championship or we're selling. And we've seen, we saw Doug Armstrong, a couple of Stastny was one of them. Dave Backus would have been another. Hey, we're kind of in the fight. We're kind of close. We're kind of around it. But really, are we really there? Like, he's not afraid to ask himself a really hard question. And the organization's not shy about asking a really hard question and then reacting to the real answer. I think a lot of teams can lie themselves into believing there's something they're not. I think one of the things, and you guys know this, you've been at this long enough, like teams really tend to overvalue what they have. It's really unique to hockey too, because and you guys would tell me whether I'm off base on this when you follow other sports more than I do. It seems like more than any other sport, hockey really overvalues what they have, and that makes trading really, really difficult. Right? Like,
agreed.
It's real tough. Like, whenever I hear a GM say, "Oh, it's so hard to make a trade," it's hard to make a trade because you overvalue what you have.
Yeah,
and you're just trying to hit a home run.
I think that's the case. I think NHL GMs lack the gumption of general managers in other sports. Other sports GMs now tend to come from analytical backgrounds and whatnot, so they're able to rationalize it a little bit and are less afraid of the outside politics. But it's also the 3-point games, too, right? Like where you stay in the playoff or can convince yourself that you're in a playoff hunt because you continue to compile points, even if you're not winning all of those games. Thus, everybody is 500 or better in the East.
Oh, exactly. Jeff, let's get to the World Juniors here now.
Where he should be,
where hopefully you will be. Gavin McKenna.
6:45 Eastern tonight. 6:45 tonight.
6:45 Eastern.
We'll see.
If I get on a plane.
We hope. Gavin
Stop
McKenna,
Chicago. Yes.
The noise surrounding this young man has now risen to a point where, he's fueled by his doubters. This dude is projected or was projected or going to be projected to be the #1 overall pick. Hat trick last night. The last goal is an absolute beauty by him. When you look at him and kind of the noise surrounding him, what's your take initially when you hear things like that?
Okay, so first of all, Gavin McKenna is an elite level playmaker, an elite level skater. I think he's made a very challenging decision in his draft year. I mean, he just could have stayed in Medicine Hat and torn up the league. And we wouldn't be having these conversations about, is Gavin McKenna still going to be first overall, right? Like, let's consider the environment that he put himself in here deliberately. Now, I know there's a financial incentive to it as well, but really, like, how much more did Gavin McKenna, I mean, it already took his team to the Memorial Cup last year as well. His line mates had split as well. One to Michigan State and the other to BU. So you can make the argument that even though it's a difficult thing to do for a player to put himself in a completely different environment, the different style of game in his draft year, I do think it's commendable, right? Like, he's not tearing up Division I, but maybe we realistically shouldn't have looked at Gavin McKenna and said, like, yeah, he's going to come in here and put up like 85 points this season because he's playing against a lot tougher competition. There would be a lot of players, Irf, that would have taken the easy way out and just stayed in the comforts of Medicine Hat and known that you could like smash some records and no one would be having this conversation, but he didn't. So for one, I applaud someone challenging himself in a year as sensitive as his draft year. For me, Gavin McKenna is still #1. To me, the story is how much have other players caught up. Ivar Stenberg looks fantastic. His brother plays with the St. Louis Blues, for those that don't know. Keaton Verhoff is interesting as well. For rightly or wrongly, he's always going to be compared anywhere around the top of a draft to Matthew Schaefer, and he is not Matthew Schaefer. They're much different defensemen. He's not as mobile. He's not as he's not as fast, not the skater that Matthew Schaefer is. But I think the story is, who's closed in, and who that we didn't expect inside the top 5 will we see inside the top 5, and one of those names, and I'll hang myself out on this one. I still think that Caleb Malhotra is going top 5. At the end of the day, I think that what Caleb Malhotra brings to a team on the ice, off the ice as well, and he is ripping. And he's on a traveling all-star team with the Bulldogs of the OHL. Mm-hmm. But Caleb Malhotra is going to make a team very, very happy, and it's going to be really tempting if you're the Vancouver Canucks and you're in Malhotra territory in the top 5, not to take Caleb Malhotra. But he's in there too, right? Chase Reed, who's a defenseman with the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, playing for Team USA. He's another one that we need to consider too. I still think that McKenna's the class of this draft so far.
I was going to ask.
Hasn't been the best possible year, but you look at the whole body of work.
I was going to ask, because the Canucks are third from the bottom right now. Of course, if you are the worst team in the league, then you're guaranteed a top 3 pick. Like, how much would you sweat the distinction between McKenna, Stenberg, Verhoff?
To me, the toss-up for number 1, and I still slightly lean McKenna. It's McKenna and Ivar Stenberg.
Yeah,
Stenberg's special, and what and don't forget too, like, he's playing in the SCL, like he's playing with men, and we're the comparisons to the Sedins, by way of points, the comparisons to Naslund, like, it is dizzying territory. Now, he's not the biggest guy, 5'11", 180, maybe 185. But he's a spectacular player.
He plays bigger than that,
really
Jeff. Just watching him in this tournament, like, he seeks out, initiates, and survives contact. He is very comfortable on the puck and in tight quarters and playing the physical game. You texted me gleefully last night. Cootes scored. I was like, yay, because my God, we haven't seen a whole lot of him. What have you made of the Canucks' top prospect and Coach Hunter's deployment of those forwards, Jeff?
I like it. If we have time, I want to make a point about Brady Martin here. But to Braeden Cootes, I look at this year with Braeden Cootes, the World Juniors, as getting in some playing time. And I like that Hunter's playing in with Cole Reshny, and Jetlichenko, really, really responsible. Had a lot of time in Philadelphia with the Flyers already. That guy's close to being a full-time pro hockey player, as we all know. He's getting some playing time because next year there's 3 guys for Canada that I look at and say, here's your leadership group. Braeden Cootes is one of them, Cole Reshny's the other, and Caleb Desnoyers. Now, I'm glad that Caleb Desnoyers has found himself more up the lineup, but is not the extra forward anymore. Really responsible player. Not the flashiest guy, 200-foot player. Like, in this era where every top guy is just skill, goals, offense. Here's Caleb Desnoyers, this, like, old school 200-foot guy. As I'm told by people who have coached him, like, players love him. All the guys love him. The quiet leader, Cole Reshny, as was described to me, is the opposite. He's like the high-intensity guy that everyone likes to be around, works hard every single shift, and isn't afraid to call teammates out on the bench, like has that type of intensity to him. And then Braeden Cootes is right in between. He's a little bit Desnoyers, and he's a little bit Cole Reshny as well. That is your leadership group next year for Team Canada at the World Juniors. I look at Braeden Cootes and whatever, same as Cole Reshny, whatever they do this year at this tournament is bonus, because those 2 guys are going to sing next year at the World Juniors in Edmonton and Red Deer. That's what it is for those 2. But I like that they have. How do we phrase it, man? Right shot Reshny or left?
Right shot Reshny.
Right shot Reshny or left shot Cootes.
We prefer left shot Cootes here. Yeah, Cole Reshny is a left shot Cootes as opposed to Braeden Cootes as a right shot Reshny.
Right shot Reshny. Right shot Reshny.
You mentioned the gap has closed much on the picks being closer to Gavin McKenna. Now, I want to ask you about the gap being closed in the world coming into this tournament and to Canada and USA.
Yeah, like we used to kill
Canada.
minnows.
Why can't Canada kill teams, Jeff? Why can't they? I mean, other than against the Danes, but the Slovaks, the Czechs, like these teams
everybody gives us a game. Now Latvia has our number, for heaven's sake.
That Czech program is incredible.
You know what's funny, at the beginning of the tournament, I had one person who's been around this tournament forever say, don't sleep on Czechia. If you're looking for a dark horse to win, quote unquote, watch Czechia. That's your team, Marek. Let's have a conversation as Canadians here. So as Canadians, for decades, like my entire life, we've always had this idea that hockey's the best sport in the world. Why don't other countries get it the way we do? Well, you know what? Other countries are starting to get it now. The United States has got it for a while. Sweden's got it for a while. Finland, Czechia, other teams have, like, other countries have gotten it. Okay, like that's where hockey is right now, and now we don't like it. We spent so long saying, what's wrong with these other countries? Why don't they love hockey the way we do? Why don't they make hockey players the way we do? And now all of a sudden, the rest of the world catches up, and we go, whoa, whoa, whoa!
It's not that we don't
want you to
like
love it, but we still want to club you.
It's that it makes us nervous. I mean, we have lost here too recently, too.
Yes, it does.
You know, like we used to dominate this tournament. And I will say this. It's better for the tournament. And number two, it's better for entertainment value. Like, I sat down yesterday and I watched Czechia, Finland, which was terrific in a 1-goal game, and Slovakia, USA, which was outstanding as well.
It's a great game.
This is my favorite hockey to watch all year. I find it the most compelling, the most entertaining hockey all season long. The World Juniors. I used to say that just about the knockout round and the medal round, but that is now seeping into the preliminary round. This is fun, good hockey, and I'm so pleased to see the Czechs and the Slovaks come back a little bit. It's been a long time since '89 when, as a unified team, of course, they were a hockey power, but Velvet Revolution, lack of money for many, many years in those programs, and now they're back. And Latvia's pluckiness, and especially their great fans, if you've been around them, they make the tournament more fun, and more drunken.
I want to pause on Latvia quickly. I've always maintained, no offense, Canadian hockey fans, no offense, American hockey fans. There are no better hockey fans in the world than Latvians. They win, they cheer. They lose, they cheer too. They don't care. They don't care. They'll sing and they'll drink and they'll have fun. And they're just there as a celebration that our team is in, is mixing with all these elite teams around the world. You see it at the World Championships. You see it at the U20 here, the World Junior Hockey Championships as well. I'm really happy for Latvia that the quality on the ice has caught up to the support off of it. And I know that, like, the way that I describe it, watching that Canada-Latvia game the other day, like, and I was there last year in Ottawa watching, the Latvians beat Canada. Playing Latvia is, the feeling when you're wearing a belt that's too tight and you've just eaten a big meal? Like, that's how it feels playing against Latvia. Like, it's a really uncomfortable feeling playing Latvia. It's tough, and you gotta scrap for everything. They're not the most offensively gifted team. We all know that, but playing them is just flat out miserable, and they never stop competing. Amongst all the other teams that have sort of risen up here, I'm happiest for Latvia, and they got sick jerseys too. They look great, and I'm happy for them.
And they got a defenseman who's going to go in the first round, if not top 10, and they got a centerman who's I think going to be amongst the top 50, top 2 rounds. Okay, we've arrived at the Easter egg. Easter egg, we do a little trivia with Jeff at the end. Irfan Ghaffar is your teammate here.
You are my lifeline.
Sorry.
So your choices here is either World Junior Trivia or pop culture music trivia.
I'll take WJC all
I knew you would.
long
I knew you would.
on this one.
All right.
All right.
There are 2 players tied as the all-time leading scorers for the United States at the World Juniors. One is an active NHL player. One is a former Vancouver Canucks first-round draft pick. Who leads the United States in all-time scoring at the World Juniors with 27 career points?
I think I know the Canuck.
Okay.
Is it Cutter Gauthier?
No, Jordan Schrader.
Very good, Irfan Gaffar. Jordan Schrader
Wow.
has 27 points in his World Junior career to tie this player. And it's funny you bring up Cutter Gauthier because there are ties that bind with this player and Cutter Gauthier.
There are
Same two NHL teams for this guy as Cutter Gauthier. Active player.
So Philadelphia, Anaheim.
We're gonna see him tonight.
It's not.
He was
Trevor
pretty good.
Zegras.
It was Trevor Zegras.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is Trevor
He was
Zegras.
pretty good.
I was going to say Troy Terry.
Very well done.
That's embarrassing. It took me that long to get. Is it weird that I already think of like Trevor Zegras as a longtime Philadelphia Flyer? Like how quickly he's become like ingrained that he's a Flyer. And what happened? You know what? Hey, Paul McCartney. What was that band you were in before Wings? Like what was that? What was that band's name again? Like I've just like completely forgotten the Anaheim days already. Yeah,
I've told this story before. Super Bowl 39, Jacksonville, Florida. Paul McCartney is the halftime act. He does a press conference the late Friday afternoon before Super Sunday. So a lot of people, skipped out on the press. That was, busy deadline days in newspapers, right? When you got the big Saturday edition, you're writing like 57 stories. And a young lady goes up to the public microphone, introduces herself as an intern at ESPN, and says, "Excuse me, Sir Paul, who will be on stage with you, or is it just you solo?" And Sir Paul goes, "Oh, silly me, how dare I forget? They'll rib me for it, but joining me on stage will be my band." And the young lady goes, "I'm sorry, your band?" And he says, "Oh, it's very confusing. The group of musicians who play with me, their band name is my band." And she's still confused. And then she says into the mic completely earnestly, "Is that your original band, Sir Paul?" To which the room goes silent for a second and then realizes she doesn't know the Beatles.
No.
18 doesn't know the Beatles. Hey.
I always catch myself and try to remember that when I was that age, my parents would have mentioned a band or a musician from their era, I probably would have had the same reaction.
But you would have known the freaking Beatles, Jeff.
I would have known the Beatles.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the
person. I'm trying to give this person a soft landing here, Maddie.
Yeah. Here's the music trivia that Mike Rogerson better get in on.
Oh. Okay.
That you skipped
She's
over.
an award winner.
In his iconic 1989 song, "We Didn't Start the Fire," Billy Joel name checks 59 people from history between 1949 and 1989. You know the song, like Paul, he goes through all the names.
It's not really a song as much as it is a list.
It is a list,
he's just singing
basically
a list.
set to music. So 59 individuals are mentioned here, all of them tied to events between 1949 and 1989. With the passing of Brigitte Bardot on the weekend, there are only 3 living members name-checked on the song. Give me one of them.
Mike?
Living.
Oh, wow. From that monster list?
2 of them are musicians. One of them is well known for a dance that your parents or your grandparents might have done. One of them is amongst the greatest American songwriters of the 20th century.
Is he a left-hand shot or a right-hand shot?
Come on,
have no idea,
Rogerson. I expected more from you.
The
What
only
do you
name
got?
I remember
That's
is
got to be
Doris
Mike.
Day.
Mike's the lifeline. Who is it?
Doris Day is the only person I
Yeah,
can remember
not
from that
alive.
song.
Not alive.
Oh,
Bob
no longer
Dylan,
sharing oxygen.
Bob Dylan,
Oh yeah.
Chubby
that's-
Checker, and Subway vigilante Bernie Getz, which if you're from New York City, you would know the name. But if you're
Wow! Holy smokes!
It's on me. That's on
Yeah.
me.
anyways,
That's on Mike for sure.
Jeff, we hope you get to
Not a song,
the
it's a
juniors.
list.
Happy New Year, buddy. Look forward to speaking to you from Minnesota next week, right? Right?
Crossing our fingers we'll be in Minnesota. Otherwise, just going to get my little act here in the Marek compound basement. You know,
you just you stay safe up there. Better to stay safe up there than down here.
Rather be down here wishing I was up there than up there wishing I was down here. Gets you. It's your Zen moment at the airport. Thanks, guys.